Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Yacht Crew Blogs right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I am your host, and today I'm very pleased to welcome Captain Lori Lucas. How are you?
I'm fine, and how are you today?
Good, thanks. Well, it's a lovely day outside, and I think it's a great day for you over there as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I was actually maybe going to do a little snorkel later in the ocean off the beach. I was thinking about it. The ocean's so beautiful today.
And you're based in Florida, correct?
Yeah, I'm in the Fort Lauderdale area right now.
Nice. Well, tell me a bit about yourself. I've had the pleasure actually lately of interviewing quite a few captains, female captains, and it's been a really interesting journey for me and for the viewers as well. Where are you originally from, and sort of what was your goals and ideals as a kid growing up?
I'm originally from Ohio, but moved to Fort Lauderdale area when I was quite young. I'm more from Fort Lauderdale, a Florida girl for sure. Grew up, on the beach, surfing, snorkeling. When I was younger, I really didn't have an interest in boating or yachting. I got into scuba diving. I became a scuba diving instructor and took that in college as an elective and fell in love with the ocean that way and became taught scuba diving, worked on dive boats, and then made the transition. Worked on dive liveaboards, cook, stew, even on the dive liveaboards, whatever it took, multitasking, and then made the transition into the yachting industry.
So, what did you start off? What was your first job on a yacht?
My first job on a yacht was I was a cook stew, and then worked up to chef stew, depending on how you're plating things. Um, as a chef stew, deckhand, a little bit of everything. I worked on smaller boats where it was just the captain and myself. So I was required to lend a hand in every aspect of the vessel, on deck, interior, bartending, wash downs, whatever it took. So I was lucky that way. I wasn't isolated to one position. I was able to get around and experience them all.
Do you find that the smaller yachts are more of sort of offer more of an ability to learn all aspects of a yacht rather than going into a position on a larger yacht?
Well, I would say that's a possibility, but it also depends on the vessel and the crew and the training and things like that. And also how involved you want to get in learning things on the yacht. I think initiative is huge. On a smaller one, yes, because it's the captain and maybe just yourself. So you may get some more special attention that way. And on a larger yacht, you're going to learn more specific areas. But that doesn't mean that you cannot, you know, extend into other positions. If you're a stew on a yacht and you've conquered that position, why not move out into the deck and learn more about that if it's something you're interested in? Because you have to, it's good to know a little bit of everything. It definitely helps a lot. I mean, stews should know the deck a little bit, just as the interior on a larger yacht should learn to help out on the interior if needed, whichever way it's going. So I think a multitasker is very important in the industry. It's almost needed at this point. It sure helps a lot. No tunnel vision. You have to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done to make it all flow.
Well, let me ask you this. As a woman, did you find that, and this is something that I find quite interesting myself, but did you find that there was sort of an automatic assumption that you would look to further your career in yachting and not just stop at, for example, chief stew or at chef stew? Was there an expectation that one day you would want to be a captain?
No, I think the majority, there's always a few people that shot me down, but I'd have to say the majority of people that I had around me, from crew agencies to mentor captains that I worked with, that pushed me and, yeah, expected me to further it, most definitely. And then there were the ones that didn't expect me or would shoot me down, thinking that I couldn't do it. But for me, that just inspired me even more. That pushed me even more, when I would get shot down. But there was definitely people around me that supported me throughout the year, saying, "Why aren't you running your own boat, Lori? What are you waiting for? What's going on?" So that definitely helped. And friends and just the support, most definitely. You can't do it alone. You have to have the support.
Do you think that there is enough support for women going on to become captains within the yachting industry?
I don't believe so. Like I feel that if I would have had a little bit more support from females, that maybe I would have gotten, started quicker in my industry, been a little bit more braver, a little bit more ballsier to take the steps, to go for it sooner than later. Absolutely. If I would have had somebody pushing me a little bit more, let's say a female in the industry, definitely, because it's very intimidating.
Do you find that now that we are seeing more and more female captains emerge on the scene and have that as their goal, that perhaps we're going to see a whole new generation of female captains coming up after because there is role models to show them that this is a possibility?
I hope so. I hope so. A lot of my friends are, look at my position and like, "Oh, you're a captain." And I say, "Yeah," I said, "but I feel like the younger generation and the women have nothing on me. I feel like they're smarter, they're stronger, they're ballsier, and they're going for things sooner in life." Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let me ask you, do you think sometimes women are a bit too sensitive to their environment in their path to become captain or to become something other than just the status quo? Is there a need to be stronger, to work harder, to accept possibly some things that they wouldn't normally accept in order to get ahead?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That just comes with it. Um, but it's all in how you handle it, how you take it. You can take it and it can shut you down, or you can take it and it can empower you. Anything in life is ups and downs and growth in any position. Um, so you really just, for me, it's all been a learning experience. All my stew work, everything that I've been through has gotten me to where I am today, and it's still a learning experience. In yachting and on these yachts, you never stop learning. It's always something different. It's always a different kind of situation, so that never stops. So you really have to, it helps if you have a love for the ocean and a real drive to do it, and enjoy it It's not always about cleaning. It's about when you get out there and you start cruising and you're out in the middle of that ocean, the satisfaction and just the love that it brings, for me at least, but you
Do you
have to
think that
be
there's
a
a
hard
need for an
worker.
extra strength?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt. No doubt. You know, there's there's plenty of times I mean, women are emotional. Yes, we're emotional. There's plenty of times that I've gotten emotional and stressed out, and I haven't had, and I don't show it. You know what I mean? I go in my room, I get emotional, and I come back out and I deal with it. That's just reality, and I talk to myself into handling it the correct way that I know how, and then walking back out and dealing with it. And everybody deals with that. Everyone deals with it. You just got to deal with it in the right way. You can't let it shut you down. You have to overcome it, and that makes you stronger and more confident. And everybody doubts themselves. You know, it's a big piece of machinery that we deal with driving. It's nerve wracking. You're sure your balls get in your throat a lots of times, but you got to keep your cool. You got to keep your cool and deal with it and do what you got to do and be confident and good at it, no matter what it is, and take pride in your work. But also don't take any shit. I'm big on going on your gut feeling. Your gut feeling is huge, no matter what age you are, whatever vessel you're on. If it feels like a bad situation, it probably is. It probably is. So I'm big on going on your gut instinct on situations, for sure.
What kind of advice would you give those green crew coming on now, um, the women, if they are looking to eventually make captain? What is the kind of advice you would give them in their journey towards the captain's chair?
I would say my advice would be to work hard. If you're a greenie, keep your mouth shut. Listen. Don't really speak until you know something. You know, your opinion as a greenie really doesn't matter. You're there to learn. You're going to be in different situations. It's all how you handle it. As a female, you definitely have to be a man sometimes, a guy. You have to have that type of humor. Maybe not get so offended by certain things and learn to roll with it. Don't take it so personally. You know, it may not necessarily, a comment may necessarily not be about you, but the person making the comment. You know what I'm saying? They have the issue, maybe not necessarily you. But you got to be tough. You got to be tough. And and don't let them see you sweat. Don't let them see you sweat. You know what I mean? Deal with your stuff and come back even stronger. You know, yeah, don't let them see you sweat no matter what. No matter what. And we all have our breakdowns in its life and we all get stressed out. But you got to get over it and come back fighting. You know, come back for more. Laying down and giving up is not an option. And if that's your option, then you should not be in this industry for sure.
Do you think it's still true to this day, though, that a woman will have to work twice as hard as a man in order to get where she wants to go?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I deal with it every day still, every day from many different things, workers coming every day. I deal with it. So it's how you deal with it. And you also have to learn that if it gets too much to an extreme, that if someone is offending you too much, again, it's that gut feeling, then you act on that. But you have to learn to fight your battles. And if it's really not that big of a deal, then just kind of let it slide. You have to pick your battles. You can't fight everything. But as a female, you definitely have to have a set of balls in this industry and be able to stand up to the men when they're trying to intimidate you. And I'm in the position now where I intimidate the men. I come at them before they even have a chance to come at me. I'm standing stronger and I'm right there with them, if not better than them at this point, because of my experience and being a stew and being a cook and experiencing all the positions on a boat has an advantage as a female captain for me personally. You got to be strong though.
Well,
Definitely.
it sounds like you have to be strong for sure, and it's interesting because it's sort of a familiar refrain that I hear coming not only from you but every other female captain that I've spoken with. There's that underlying theme that you need to work twice as hard, you need to be strong, you need to pick and choose your battles, but it's okay if you are bound and determined to get there, you will get there.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Well, you put it perfectly. Perfectly. I agree with that. And you just got to keep going. It's a fabulous industry. I've made a career of it. I love it. I would never do anything else. I can't see myself doing anything else. And I have a real passion for the ocean and hard work. I enjoy working hard. I'm going to do this for as long as I can, you know. Definitely. And we need
So
more.
say if a woman wanted to get a bit of mentoring, would you be open to them contacting you to get some advice?
Absolutely. I'm really focusing now on the next step of mentoring some of these women. Like I said, even if I had someone to speak to when I was younger and trying to make it up the ranks or just different situations, and maybe had somebody push me a little bit harder, that I would have gotten further sooner. So absolutely, I would be into that. And I feel like that's also a next step for me in the industry. I'm here. I'm good. It's time for me to spread the love. And I can learn also from the younger generation and the women coming up now. Absolutely. I mean, it never ends. It's a full circle, most definitely. Most definitely.
Well, Lori, it's been extremely informative. And, as always, I really, really enjoy these interviews and getting to know each one of you individually because, there's some differences, but the similarities are absolutely astounding straight across the board.
Yes. Well, I appreciate it very much. And thank you for the opportunity.
Well, no, I mean, I'd like to have you back on again in the future if things change, or I think you might have some projects coming up that I might like to talk to you about in the future. So we will stay in contact. I will provide your details underneath this interview in case there is a woman out there that is looking to become a captain or wanting to know what the path is towards becoming a captain, so that they can reach out to you and get your advice.
I That would be fabulous. You can definitely put my information up. Hit me up on Facebook, give me a text, give me a call. I would love that. I'm in the Fort Lauderdale area and I'll give it to you real. I'll let you know, no bullshit. I'll give it to the girls for real. And I would love that. I would love that. So I appreciate it very much.
Thank you once again. This has been Captain Lori Lucas. We thank you so much for your time. You've been watching another edition of Yacht Crew Blogs right here on Yachting International Radio. My name is Ria. I have been your host. Please tune in again for another episode.